Hello folks, and welcome back to Why the Hell Do We Care? Today we have 3 more characters from Wu joining us alongside the head of the Hojo and a future ninja. We actually only have 2 more Wu characters left to recruit, so we have almost completed a full kingdom. So let's jump in with the Little Conqueror. Sun Ce was born in 175 AD and joined the cast in Dynasty Warriors 3. In most games, Sun Ce is unlocked fairly early. He's either fighting alongside his father during the Yellow Turban Rebellion, or he joins after his father dies and he becomes the leader of the Sun family. After his father's death, Sun Ce trades the Imperial Seal to Yuan Shu for an army and then moves to take over the Wu territory. He dueled with Taishi Ci several times and wins him over with his friendly demeanor and fierce battle prowess. Not long after the battle for the Wu territory, Sun Ce is assassinated and the mantle of leadership falls on Sun Quan. In the original Warriors ORochi, Sun Ce was the main character for the Wu campaign as he attempted to free his family from ORochi's servitude. Generally, Sun Ce is friendly, energetic, and loves a good fight, so let's see how he wields his tonfas. Sun Ce is a technique type, and a fairly fun one to play as. His S-string is pretty fast, but it is lacking in range, so you have to watch that. His C2 actually hits in a pretty large area, and his C3 is one of the few that lacks multiple hits. His C4 is a pretty good and fast crowd clearer, and his C5 hits in a very large area. His C6 is his officer killer, and is actually a throw that leads into his EX attack. However, this means it can't be used in juggle combos since you can't throw enemies in the air. His ground R1 sends out 2 huge fireballs, and his aerial is several rapid hits followed by a sweeping flame kick. His Musou, despite its animation, actually hits in a pretty wide area in front of him, so it can handle both groups and officers. His passive is Solidity, which reduces everyone's damage from enemy officers. Overall, I like Sun Ce. He is fast and fun to play with, although his short range can hamper him if you don't learn to play around it. Zhou Yu was born in 175 AD and was an original Dynasty warrior. Zhou Yu is Sun Ce's best friend, husband to Xiao Qiao, and Wu's main strategist up to about Qi Bi. After that, Lu Meng usually takes over, followed by Lu Xun. The Battle of Qi is probably his biggest accomplishment. Cao Cao had created the largest army and fleet of the 3 kingdoms and moved to take over Wu and Shu with it, so naturally Wu and Shu teamed up to take him on. Zhuge Liang and Zhou Yu planned out a fire attack to burn the ships up. First, a spy convinced Cao Cao to chain his ships together to avoid seasickness in his men. Then Zhou Yu beat the crap out of Huang Gai as a show of dissension between the two, so that it was believable that Huang Gai would want to defect. Finally, Zhuge Liang prayed for a favorable wind to blow the flames onto the rest of the ships. After all the preparations were complete, Huang Gai pretended to defect with ships loaded with oil that he set ablaze and rammed into Cao Cao's ship, burning them all up and winning the day. It's probably one of the biggest battles in all of the games, and I always enjoy playing it as you conquer a much larger force through guile. Zhou Yu is generally depicted as intelligent, calm, and sometimes a bit arrogant, and has a bit of a rivalry with Zhuge Liang. So let's see how he competes with Goku and wields his staff. Zhou Yu is a speed type, and like most speed types has a quick S-string to match. His weapon also gives him very good range, although he is a bit lacking in power. His C3 has a lot of forward motion to it, so it can hit multiple enemies, but if you miss big. His C4 is a decent crowd clearer, but it's lacking in power, so it's best used to make space. His C5 EX attack is pretty awesome as he knocks his foe into the air and rains fire down upon them. Following that, his C6 is a decent shockwave attack. His ground R1 summons a tornado to knock his enemies off their feet, and his aerial is a spitting dive attack with some good distance on it. His Musou is a big flaming combo that hits multiple times and in a wide area. His passive is Focus, which boosts Musou gauge capacity for everyone, which again is a double-edged sword depending on if you focus on R1s or Musou attacks. I will admit, I'm not really a fan of the current Zhou Yu. A lot of his attacks lack power, and while he can juggle really well with his EX attacks at fire damage, it just seems like it takes forever for him to kill stuff. He isn't bad, but he just isn't my kind of guy. It is unknown when Da Qiao was born, but she joined the cast in Dynasty Warriors 3 alongside her husband. Not much is really known about Da Qiao, even her real name. Da Qiao translates out to Elder Qiao. In that vein, her sister Xiao Qiao translates to Younger Qiao. She was married to Sun Ce, and as such, most of her impact on the story lie with him. There are occasional levels that focus on her and her sister for things like Sun Ce and Zhou Yu's courtship, Of course done with copious amounts of murder, or Dongzhuo trying to capture the pair for his harem. Occasionally she will show up after Sun Ce's death alongside her sister, but that is fairly rare. Of the sisters, Da Qiao is definitely the calmer of the two and is usually the one who tries to keep her sister from doing something stupid. So let's see how her fan work compares to her younger sibling. Da Qiao is a speed type, and much like her sister, her S string is fast and short-ranged. Her C3 has some good range on it and actually lasts quite a long time, so watch out for back attacks while you're doing it. Her C4 EX attack is pretty good, hitting all around her with her fan and then dropping a large fireball on the field. Her C5 takes her into the air as well, so we can link into her aerial attacks. Her C6 is actually a throw, so that can be handy for fighting officers. It also looks pretty funny. Her ground R1 is a single shot version of Sun Ce's, and her aerial leaves a tornado around that can be used to juggle enemies for you. Her Musou has her telekinetically manipulating some poor fool and throwing them around like a rag doll. Her passive is speed, which boosts fellow speed type stats. Kinda figured she'd have technique so she could be paired up with her husband, but what do I know. I'd say I like Da Qiao more than her sister. She still shares her sister's low attack strength, but I like her charge attacks more, and her Musou makes me laugh at times. Uchiyasu Hojo was born in 1515 AD and made his playable debut in Samurai Warriors 3. He is the third head of the Hojo family and one of the main powers in the Kanto region. He butts heads with the Takeda and Uesugi clans several times and is always able to fend them off and protect his homeland. He eventually makes peace with the Uesugi clan, however this did come with a cost as he had to give his son Saburo up as a hostage as part of the peace agreement. He was also an ally to the Imagawa and helped protect Yoshimoto's heir after his death. In Warriors ORochi, he is a good friend of Sun Jian. I guess the tiger Zhongdong and the lion of Sagami appreciate each other's nickname and love of the color red. So let's see how his sword shotgun game works. Uchiyasu is a technique type and the return of the long string samurai warriors. His basic S string is pretty quick, but it's lacking in range. His C4 is a decent multi-hit crowd clearer, but again it lacks range. His C5 hits in a pretty wide area, and his C6 stuns all around him with a big flash bomb. His C7 is a quick stab forward, and C8 is a crowd clear with a much better reach as he attaches his sword to his cane for extra range. His C9 hits in a massive area as he tosses out a grenade to light up the place. His ground R1 stuns his enemy with a good old kick to the joy department. His aerial R1 hits multiple times as he juggles his enemies with shotgun blasts. His Musou has him slowly walk forward while firing his shotgun and tossing out grenades. His passive is dexterity, which reduces damage from enemy combos, again not sure how that technically works. Uchiyasu is a character I can't help but love, from his demeanor to the fact he uses a sword cane with a shotgun in it. He has some good variety in his charge attacks, but his range can be lacking at times, but that doesn't stop me from liking him. Also, the Hojo clan symbol is the friggin' Triforce. I'm pretty sure any Zelda fanboy would gravitate towards him for that alone. Kasumi is from the Dead or Alive fighting games and is pretty much the main character from what I hear. I'm really not a big fan of the Dead or Alive series, so my knowledge of the character is fairly limited, to be honest. From what I understand, she is a rogue ninja who abandoned her home to pursue some personal vendetta, and apparently the Dead or Alive tournament people cloned her and now she is hunting her clones down. Ayane was sent after her to punish her for abandoning the village, and is apparently her half-sister and hates Kasumi for being mistreated by her family. Before ending up in the Amalgam world, she was hunting one of her clones, Alpha 152, and then ended up getting dragged to the arena we found her in. So let's see how her ninja arts compare to her DOA brethren. Kasumi is a speed type, and like her Dead or Alive and Ninja Gaiden brethren, attacks really fast. Her C1 is an odd teleporting combo that can be hard to aim properly to get maximum hits. Her C2 combo knocks your foes into the air and then she teleports around them while attacking and can be followed up with her aerial charge attack. Her C3 is another multi-hit combo that ends with a nice ground pound to clear the area. Her C4 is a bit odd, at its base level is just one stronger than normal attack, but it can be charged to extend to a 3-hit combo. Her C5 is a throw attack that goes into a nice combo. Her ground R1 is a throw that launches her foes that can be followed up upon. Her aerial is a stomp attack that goes into a nice stompy combo. Her Musou is a standard samurai warrior's fare with multiple hits, although judging from the effects on her weapon, it may have the insta-death element attached. Her passive is speed, which again boosts all speed-type character stats. Kasumi is a pretty fun character to play as. Her teleport combos take some getting used to, but when mastered can deal some decent damage. Her plethora of throwing attacks make her great against officers as well, so you really can't go wrong with any of the DOA characters. Well, that's it for this episode as we draw closer to getting every character into my grasp. Next time we are taking on the combined forces of the Takeda and Nuwasugi clan, so I hope to see you all there.